Akashvani presents Morning News. Good morning, I'm Sanjay Mattu. The headlines. Voting begins for first phase of assembly elections in 24 seats of Jammu and Kashmir. Elaborate security arrangements made for first elections after abrogation of Article 370. Centre advises edible oil associations not to hike prices till availability of existing stocks imported at lower customs duty. President Droupadi Murmu to attend the convocation of MNIT Jaipur in Rajasthan today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to visit the US on 21st September to attend the 4th Quad Leaders Summit. United Nations says pager explosions across Lebanon mark an extremely concerning escalation, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulates Indian men's hockey team on winning Asian Champions Trophy for record 5th time. Voting for the first phase of assembly elections in Jammu and Kashmir has begun. 24 constituencies spread over 7 districts are going to the polls today. This marks the first assembly election after the abrogation of Article 370. Elaborate security arrangements have been made for the polls. Voting began at 7 this morning and will end at 6 in the evening. As the first phase of the Jammu and Kashmir assembly elections begins today, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah have urged voters in the state to come out in large numbers and exercise their right to vote. In a social media post, Mr. Modi urged everyone in those constituencies going to the polls today to vote in large numbers and strengthen the festival of democracy. He particularly called upon young and first-time voters, encouraging them to exercise their franchise. Home Minister Amit Shah emphasized that only a government with strong will can establish a terror-free Jammu and Kashmir, protect the rights of the citizens there, and speed up development work. Mr. Shah called on for electing a government committed to working for education of the youth, employment, empowerment of women, and ending separatism and nepotism in the region. The second phase of polling will be held on the 25th of this month, and voting for the third phase will be held on the 1st of October. The counting of votes will be held on the 8th of next month. More from our correspondent.
The much-awaited political process has finally begun after a long gap of 10 years with the commencement of first phase of assembly elections in Jammu and Kashmir this morning. People are seen quite enthusiastic to exercise their right to franchise and elect a local government. There are 219 candidates in the fray, and their fate will be determined by over 23,27,000 voters, including 5,66,000 young voters. Today, the first phase will cover 7 districts of Jammu and Kashmir, which include 16 assembly constituencies spread in Anantnag, Pulwama, Shopian, and Kulgam districts in the Kashmir division, and 8 assembly constituencies in Doda, Ramban, and Kishtwar districts of Jammu division. To facilitate the voters for smooth and hassle-free electoral participation, the Election Commission has established 3,276 polling stations with 100% webcasting across all the 24 assembly constituencies. Adequate security arrangements have been put in place to ensure smooth conduct of elections. Sunil Kol, Akashvani News, Srinagar.
In Haryana, campaigning has picked up pace with leaders of different political parties holding rallies and meetings. Senior BJP leader and Home Minister Amit Shah addressed poll rallies in Bhiwani and Faridabad yesterday. In the Bhiwani rally, he criticized the Congress, saying that the party is against reservations for scheduled castes, scheduled tribes and backward classes. Addressing a rally in Faridabad, Mr. Shah said the BJP works for the welfare of the society and alleged that the Congress works for the welfare for their families only. Mr. Shah said corruption and hooliganism had increased when the Congress was in power, but the BJP put an end to all this.
हमारा संकल्प विकसित भारत है, उनका संकल्प परिवार के पोषण करने का है। अगर तीसरी बार आप कमल खिलाते हैं, तो ओबीसी, दलित, किसान, सेना के जवान और खिलाड़ी सभी के कल्याण का काम भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार करेगी.
Our correspondent reports that the BJP has fielded sitting MLA Rajesh Nagar from Tigaon Assembly seat. Two-time minister in Haryana government and MLA Moolchand Sharma is contesting from the Ballabgarh seat. President Droupadi Murmu will begin a 3-state visit to Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Jharkhand from today. In Jaipur today, She'll attend the convocation of the Malviya National Institute of Technology, or MNIT, as the chief guest and deliver the convocation address. The President will also inaugurate a new Aravali hostel for students. The Governor of Rajasthan, Haribhau Kisan Rao Bagde, and Chief Minister Bhajanlal Sharma will also attend the program. Our correspondent reports that the Director of MNIT, Professor Narayan Prasad Padhi, has informed that a total of 1,361 degrees will be awarded in the convocation. Of these, 402 degrees will be awarded to girl students. In the afternoon, the President will leave for Madhya Pradesh on a 2-day visit. During her visit, she'll attend various programs in Indore and Ujjain. Our correspondent has filed this report.
President Srimati Droupadi Murmu will visit Mragnani Emporium at Indore on the first day of her visit today. She will meet the artisans who have earned fame for their skills. Mragnani is the main handloom sari center of Madhya Pradesh government. The President will address Safai Mitra Sammelan and lay the foundation stone for the Indore-Ujjain 6-lane road project at Indore tomorrow. The President will also visit Sri Mahakaleshwar temple. She will also interact with the sculptures of Sri Mahakallo. On the same day, she will grace the 14th convocation of Devi Ahilya University at Indore. Sanjeev Sharma, Akashvani News, Bhopal.
On Friday, President Murmu will grace and address the centenary celebration of the ICAR, National Institute of Secondary Agriculture, Ranchi in Jharkhand. Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar will chair the valedictory session of the 4th edition of RE Invest Meet in Gandhinagar today. Union Minister Prahlad Joshi informed yesterday that various stakeholders, including state governments and private manufacturers, have committed a total investment of 32.45 lakh crore rupees in renewable energy projects in the next 6 years.
Maximum states they have participated. We had discussed total 32.5 lakh crore is committed up to 2030. States have committed 520 gigawatt up to 2030, 340 gigawatt in the solar module manufacturers, 240 in cell manufacturing. So on, the things are going on and people know the importance of this in a growing field.
The centre has advised the leading edible oil associations not to hike retail prices till the existing stocks imported at nil and 12.5% of basic customs duty are exhausted. Secretary, Department of Food and Public Distribution, Sanjeev Chopra, chaired a meeting to discuss the pricing strategy with representatives of various oil producers' associations in New Delhi yesterday. In a recent decision, the government increased the basic customs duty on various edible oils to support domestic oilseed prices. Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution said in a statement, these adjustments are part of the government's ongoing efforts to bolster domestic oilseed farmers, especially with the new soybean and groundnut crops expected to arrive in the markets from next month. India's total exports from April to August this year are estimated at around $329 billion, showing a growth of 5.35% according to data released yesterday by the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. The estimated value of service exports during the first 5 months of the current fiscal year were over $150 billion, reflecting a rise of over 10%. This is Akashvani giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our X handle @AIR News Alerts. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be on a visit to the United States from the 21st to the 23rd of this month. He will take part in the 4th Quad Leaders Summit in Wilmington, Delaware on the 21st of September. Following the request by the United States to host this year's summit, India has agreed to host the next Quad Summit in 2025. The External Affairs Ministry said the leaders at the summit will review the progress achieved by the Quad over the last 1 year. They will set the agenda for the year ahead to assist the countries of the Indo-Pacific region in meeting their development goals and aspirations. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Defense Minister Yoav Gallant held a security assessment meeting at the Hakiria military base in Tel Aviv after deadly pager explosions rattled Lebanon yesterday. On the other hand, Hezbollah has said it is conducting security and scientific investigations to identify the reasons behind these explosions. In a separate statement, the group blamed Israel for the attacks and vowed to retaliate. Israel has not claimed responsibility for the incidents. Lebanese health ministry said in the pager explosions yesterday, at least 8 people were killed and more than 2,800 were injured, including Hezbollah members. According to Iranian media, Iran's ambassador to Lebanon, Mujtaba Amani, was also injured in one of the blasts. Meanwhile, the United Nations has said pager explosions across Lebanon marked an extremely concerning escalation. UN Special Coordinator for Lebanon, Janine Hennis-Plasschaert, urged all concerned actors to refrain from any further action which could trigger a wider conflagration that nobody could afford. Hennis-Plasschaert underlined the urgency of restoring calm and calls on all concerned actors to prioritize stability as paramount. In Uttar Pradesh, due to heavy rain and continuous release of water from the dams into the rivers, more than 5 lakh people living in 24 districts of the state are affected by floods. More from our correspondent.
Almost 1/3 area of the state is reeling under the flood fury. In Varanasi and Prayagraj, thousands of families have taken shelter in the relief camps and administration is providing all kind of support to them. In Prayagraj, the schools will remain closed today due to the flood situation. In Varanasi also, all major ghats are submerged in water and there is a ban on boating in the river right now. 78 teams of NDRF, SDRF and PAC have been deployed in the flood affected areas. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, Akashvani News, Lucknow.
The India Meteorological Department has forecast heavy to very heavy rainfall over Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh and Rajasthan today. Heavy rainfall is also expected in isolated parts of Haryana, Chandigarh, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, Tripura and the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. A 2-day national symposium of the National Disaster Management Authority and the Army Southern Command, Aikya, will be held in Chennai from today. The primary aim of the exercise is to enhance disaster preparedness and foster robust collaboration among key stakeholders. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has congratulated the Indian men's hockey team for winning the Asian Champions Trophy 2024. In his message, Mr. Modi said that their performance, spirit and dedication have made the nation proud. India lifted the men's Asian Champions Trophy for a record 5th time after defeating host China 1-0 at Hulunbuir last evening. In a high-intensity clash, India's Jugraj Singh slotted home the only goal of the game in the 4th quarter. Team India, who were the defending champions, are the most successful team in the Asian Champions Trophy with 5 titles. The men in blue were playing in their 6th final from the 8 editions held so far. And now, for a look at today's newspapers, it's over to Shifali Singh.
Thank you, Sanjay. Atishi of the Aam Aadmi Party taking over as the new Chief Minister of Delhi gets top billing in all the dailies. Delhi gets its 3rd women CM as Kejriwal hands charge to Atishi, reports the Times of India. Supreme Court hearing in the RG Kar Hospital rape and murder case continues to dominate the front pages. Supreme Court tells the West Bengal government can't tell women not to work at night, writes the Tribune. The Hindustan Times highlights the Supreme Court directive on bulldozer demolitions. No bulldozer demolitions without court nod till October 1, writes the paper. The Statesman headlines the Prime Minister's comments at a public meeting in Odisha. The paper writes, PM slams Congress for criticism of his Ganesh Puja at the home of Chief Justice of India. And finally, the Asian Age takes note of the Prime Minister's birthday. President, Vice President Rahul Kharge wish Modi on 74th birthday, reads its headline. And with that, it's back to you, Sanjay.
Thank you, Shafali. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Voting begins for first phase of assembly elections in 24 seats of Jammu and Kashmir. Elaborate security arrangements made for first elections after abrogation of Article 370. Centre advises edible oil associations not to hike prices till availability of existing stocks imported at lower customs duty. President Droupadi Murmu to attend the convocation of MNIT Jaipur in Rajasthan today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to visit the US on 21st of September to attend the 4th Quad Leaders Summit. United Nations says pager explosions across Lebanon mark an extremely concerning escalation. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulates Indian men's hockey team on winning Asian Champions Trophy for record 5th time. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.